I recently watched this video from a YouTuber called Jara Wood, and since I've been playing Umamusume Pretty Derby like a real alpha male for... let me check. Oh my god, 11 months? I decided that it would be a good idea to have Unc over here give you his 2 cents about it. So, Agnes Tachyon, is she a must pull? Why? Why not? Who are you? How did you get in my house? And should you pull for her? Alright, so why is she so good? Grand Live is coming, and from what I gather, the meta is to have as many rainbow training sessions as possible. The main feature that helps with this is specialty priority, which increases the frequency at which the character participates in the preferred training type. So if Tachyon has a specialty priority of 80 at max limit break, she will be more likely to train speed with Yoruma, and if she has over 80 friendship, she will give you rainbow training. Now, a specialty priority of 80 is nothing to scoff at. There's only one card that has that high specialty priority in global currently. That is correct. Mayano Top Gun. You thought I was gonna say Kita-san Black, right?
She technically has 100 since she has a natural 80 specialty priority plus 20 from her unique.
Outside of that, Tachyon will give you 2 skill point bonuses, which no card in the Japanese version has more than 2, at least from what I could find. She also comes with a 1 speed bonus. Her unique has an extra 20 friendship bonus. Why is this significant? It means that if you train with her and her friendship bonus is 20, then you will get an extra 20% from the points of that training session. And this increases to 40%. For context, the max bonus you can get in Japanese servers is 48.5, with only 10 cards above 40. As for perks, she has Pace Chaser Savvy, which helps triggering skills like groundwork, Uptempo, which is a cheaper version of Killer Tunes, which helps with mid-race positioning, medium straightaways and corners, Pace Chaser corners and straightaways, the latter coming from an event, and Head On, which is a phenomenal perk for Pace Chasers. Finally, her golden skill is currently called Unstoppable, which has a base cost of 180, base duration of 2.4 and a target speed of 0.35, which ultimately increases your speed. So essentially, it's a Professor Curvature for Pace Chasers that triggers mid-race. Why is this so good? Well, it's simple. No, literally, because it's simple to trigger. No need to have someone following you, no need to have your stamina being at a certain point, no need to be blocked, no need to be being overtaken, no need to overtake somebody, you don't need it to be a Monday, no finicky conditions. It's just a golden skill that checks if you're a pace chaser, and there your speed increases mid-race. Alright, so now that we understand why this card is going to be so good, let's check how she stands on the next 3 scenarios. Here are the prompts that I use for the AI, let's start reading. What are the meta cards in Grand Live in the Japanese servers? The standard high level deck composition is 1 friend, 2 speed, 2 wisdom, 1 flex, usually speed or wisdom. The mandatory friend card is Light Hello, and the top tier speed cards are the following: Agnes Tachyon, Kita-san Black, and Maruzensky. Agnes Tachyon currently the BIS, best in slot for speed, her high friendship bonus 44 at max limit break, and lack of reliance on race bonus, since races are skipped in Grand Live, make her superior to older cards. She provides massive stat gain and crucial skill hints. What are the meta cards for Grandmaster? The standard high level deck is 1 friend, 2 speed, 1 power, 1 stamina, and 1 flex. Speed, wisdom, or gods, depending on the distance. The mandatory friend card is going to be Ancestors, and the top tier speed cards are going to be the following. Kita-san Black SSR remains the gold standard for speed. Agnes Tachyon, the premier choice for pace chasers and front runners. Her speed boosts, passive, and high training efficiency makes her BIS for these styles, often edging Kita-san Black for specific builds. And then El Condor Pasa SSR, essentially for late surgers due to her unique late surge specific skills and high stat gains. She is often considered a must pull for players focusing on running styles. And finally, what about Project Le Arc?
C'est quoi elle a aimé la parce que c'est une grosse belle.
The standard high level deck is 1 friend, 2 speed, 1 stamina, 1 power, and 1 wisdom, or 2 speed and 2 stamina for long distances. The rigid speed wisdom log of the other scenarios is broken here by the absolute necessity of capping stamina and power to survive the French races. The mandatory friend card is going to be Mei Satake, and the top tier speed cards are going to be the following: El Condor Pasa SSR, the BIS best in slot for the scenario, as a scenario link character who actually ran in Le Arc. Her other card provides massive overseas aptitudes and gains and specific skills for the long champ track. She effectively power creeps all their speed cards for this specific mode. And as always, Kita-san Black, still top tier generalist. If you like El Condor Pasa, Kita-san is a default choice for raw speed, stat and friendship gouge buildup, though she lacks the specific arc bonuses. And just to be thorough, what is the general sentiment of Agnes Tachyon SSR speed by the time Grandmaster comes out? By the time Grandmasters launches on the Japanese servers, the general sentiment towards Tachyon shifts from meta-defining to niche specialist. While she remains best in slot BIS for pace chasers due to her unique passive and skill set, she is widely considered obsolete for general use compared to newer options. The key sentiment shifts: she is a pace chaser exclusive, she's power crept by El Condor Pasa, Kita-san Black is still king for front runners, and its perception is that of a well card. Summary verdict: must spool? No, unless you're a dedicated pace chaser, main, or a whale completing a collection. Her viability is S tier for pace chasers, but B tier or lower for all other styles. The community consensus: she dies after Grand Life is over unless you're building a pace chaser. After that, use Pasa plus Kita, no need for Tachyon anymore. Alright, so now that we know why this card is so good, let's talk about cards that are gonna have a lot more longevity. El Condor Pasa will be the replacement for Kita-san Black. A summary of why is because she will technically give you 2 skill point bonuses plus 1 to all stats when her bone gouge is full. She will also give you a speed bonus plus Professor Curvature and another golden skill called Check. So I don't think it's a hot take to say that you should have 400 pulls and a few crystals ready for her. She is most likely going to be releasing in April of 2027. The next pick would be Mejiro Ramono. She is going to be a phenomenal card for having massive weight on your Umas, plus skill points, and her golden skill is Ascendance, which increases your speed on mile and medium tracks, and her unique effect gives you a better training effectiveness tied to your speed increasing skills for up to 20. By the way, training effectiveness increases the stat gain from training. She will likely release in November of 2026. The third pick would be Maruzensky. She is budget friendly, great at limit break 1, plenty of skills for frontrunners and even non-frontrunner Umas, since she also has groundwork, focus, 777, playtime sober, and slipstream. Plus, top runner, which increases speed if you're being overtaken or block mid or early race, which is pretty good for frontrunners. She will likely release in July of 2026. I should also mention that all of these cards are being used in the JP servers even today. Then we're gonna have Super Creek Stamina. The Super Creek is going to be superseded by Sounds of Earth, which will likely release in June of 2027. Sounds of Earth is going to be a phenomenal stamina card. She's going to give you Beeline Burst, Breath of Fresh Air as well, a Nimble Navigator, Playtime Sober, Slipstream, and Homestretch Haste. However, Super Creek will remain very competitive as she also gives you Ramp Up, Homestretch, and Swinging Maestro. Finally, Harikite Kita-san Black. There will be no rerun for Kita-san Black unfortunately, but you could pick her with a selector that you will get at the 1.5 anniversary. Now the golden question is, should you get her? Honestly, I don't know. The selector is the best item in the game. Without a doubt, she will be replaced by El Condor Pasa in April, which is in 11 months. I think the most likely scenario if you don't have crystals is that you're going to just barely get her at max limit break once she's about to be replaced. If I was new, I would actually try to build my deck slowly and surely and prioritize cards like Maruzensky's Speech, which reruns 4 times, and Ramono Wit. But more importantly, there's going to be plenty of scenarios that give you cards that are pretty decent. In the past, we have had Mihono Bourbon Wit, who became a staple of frontrunner deck, so I wouldn't discard cards that you were given from a free event. So, recommendations. If you're new and not a pace chaser, I recommend that you don't stress too much over this card. Focus on Marusensky, prepare for El Condor Pasa, and Major Uramonu. Those should be your priorities. You will struggle to be competitive during Grand Live and Masters, but I do think it's a better strategy to get cards that will be more useful for you on the long run instead of one that will be good for 2 scenarios, and it's not even your style of running. If you're new and a pace chaser main, your priorities still are Maru, El Condor, and Ramonu. But I would recommend to try to get at least the pity, which, from what I gather, you will need an extra 30,000 carats outside of the 100 free pulls that you will likely get. If you're a veteran and not a pace chaser, not having Tachyon in your deck will simply mean that you will struggle to stay competitive during Grand Life and Grand Masters. And if you're a veteran and a pace chaser main, like me, get her as high as you can and then prepare for Ramonu and El. But do understand that after Grand Live and Grand Master, she is a niche pick, not a generalist. Alright, that's it for me. If you disagree, please do leave a comment. I did as much research as I could have, but you never know what I could have missed. Thanks for watching.